Oh, that looks good. That is mighty fine. So guys, it's been a long time since I have made a video on a motorcycle. There are reasons for that, and the main thing I mean, this is not a real commute. I'm just going on a ride, a very short ride, just to test out a few things. Mainly I'm trying out a new gear for my helmet, that is the camera which you're seeing it through. Well, if it's good enough, it's going to make it to the video and you are actually seeing it. If you're not, well, I decided it's not good enough and I go back to my gear. So, and there are three more things which I do want to talk about. One is the Apache RR 310, the new shiny new bike which TVS launched, and I do have a few thoughts about that. The scene of ROM reviews for the OnePlus 3, and of course these sick looking levers. I do want to mention a few things about it. As of now, roll the intro. So guys, if you haven't noticed, I haven't been motorbikeing a lot. The main reason for that is, well, Oki has passed off, and it's sunshine and the rainbows and all the things which is nice about the nature. For some time, I mean, I wasn't really affected too much, but there were rains and rainy days. It's not that I wasn't riding in the rain, it's just that I didn't have my camera equipment strapped onto my helmet when I was riding in the rain. Phone, for God's sake, it's a phone from 2012, so yeah, that's one thing. And in the meantime, you guys do understand that my brother got a new phone, which is the OnePlus 5T. Yes, it is by my brother, he is using it. I don't really have any plans to take that away from him, so unless he pisses me off so much that I take away his phone and give him something shitty, like, or an S3, I don't know. That's still on the plate. But for the most part, it's still his phone, so I don't really have any plans on it. I am planning on making a review for it. I have tried and used it a couple of times, and in the unboxing video I did say something about it's not much of an upgrade. I mean, after using it, it is sort of an upgrade, but I will tell about that in the review itself. I do have some mixed opinion and changed opinion about that. I will talk about that though. Apart from that, well, that is a scene of OP5, and because he got an OP5, the phone he was using was a Zenfone 5. He wanted to use an S3, but the S3 which my mom uses, which is an S3 Neo, had some issues with it where it would just shut off in the middle of the call. Something to do with hardware, it cannot be changed in software, so I failed at that. That was being used by my mother, and now that he has a new phone, my mother now gets his old phone, which is a Zenfone 5, and her old phone is now being used as my camera gear. So this is really the S3 Neo which I'm using. Now, in terms of video quality, I don't think there's going to be much different. It's almost the same as an S3. There are a few differences though, and I have tried a few configurations with the S3 or the Neo S3. Didn't quite work out as I wanted it to. So that's one thing. I have noticed that the nighttime quality is considerably worse on the Neo. But my S3, the one which I had been using, has a lot of issues where there is a phantom battery drain in that. When even when the phone is off, it would drain out the battery. I mean, it is a water damaged phone, so I shouldn't expect it to run perfectly, and I don't. It's a miracle that it has served me until now, so that has been really cool. And if you are watching this, do let me know about the quality and the audio, because I'm using a new microphone because my old microphone was not working with the new phone, which is unnatural and not something which I considered. So that's another thing. Also, I'm using new hardware for mounting because I had a few issues with the previous one. It basically broke because it's of a cheap quality. I have the original ones right now mounted, but that's a bit more bulky, but I think it's going to work out a little better. That's one thing. Yeah, that's about the phone. I have been doing this constant run. Like, this is the 5th time I'm filming this and talking about the same so do forgive me if I seem a little bored, because yeah, I mean, 5 times talking about the same thing, it gets boring. I'm again going to my happy place. If you don't know, I go to this place where I really like this place. It's a very secluded area. There aren't many people. I'm not a really people person, big people person. Sometimes I just wish to come here. It's sunny and hot as hell, but I am still going to be here and doing this. I'm also sick. If you haven't heard from my voice yet, here is my happy place. So while we are here and stopped, let me talk to you guys about the levers I got. I have been using these stock levers and stock setup for quite some time now. Now I thought it was time for a change, and I got the Moxi racing levers, which is well, I guess it's pretty cool. It's been working really well for me. I don't know what it is about aluminum levers, or these levers particularly. It gives me a really nice feedback on the braking. Clutch side, I mean, it doesn't really matter much, but on the braking side, the feedback is amazing. The stock ones which I had, it also had a cover for better grip, which I used. It was pretty banged up. I do tend to drop my bike quite a lot. I don't have frame sliders. You can see this. These were from crashes. This one is from crash. So yeah, that does work. Apart from that, there are a few things which I do want to mention. If you are planning on getting these levers, these are shorty levers because I wanted shorty ones because I just think they look pretty cool. Now, I've heard a lot of people have bad experience with Moxi levers. That's probably because they got a fake one, because there are a lot of fakes with plastic adjusters which break on their third spin, and they don't really hold up much. I actually got a fake one initially, and I actually had to return it back. Not from this seller though, I got it from Amazon. This is from eBay. I don't really think eBay would be the one which would give me the original one. I do think these are original, but that's one thing. So that's another thing about installing this one. Brake set is easy. It's just normal what you would normally do. Nothing special about that. And also, do get the specific one for your motorcycle. The original one which I got, which was a fake one, it was for a Yamaha FZ, which I did not see, and that one does not have this brake light thingy extension. So your brake light would not work. It will be constantly on if you are using that one. Do make sure you get it for your motorcycle. So brake one is pretty clear. You just have to unscrew this bolt. There is a nut here which is a lock nut. Remove that, put in the new one, beep boop bop. That's the clutch side. There are a few more things which you need to consider. Now, first thing which you need to do is release or loosen the clutch cable. Now, don't loosen it from here because I made that mistake and it took me about half an hour to figure it out. Loosen the clutch cable from here. This is the better position to loosen it. There is a lock nut, there's a bigger nut, and loosen it there. Or you can what you can do is you can pull in the clutch and you can put and wedge in a metal piece or just a spanner to have it pulled in, and you can have it working much easier with that. So that is another option which you have. So after you have done that, on a Pulsar, on a RS200 at least, you need to remove this little I forgot about this and I did not know this thing existed until it was too late, and I yanked the original clutch cable and it broke loose, and there is a post here. Now what you need to understand what this is it's a clutch switch. Now it determines if you have your clutch pulled in or pulled out. So that's going to allow you to start your motorcycle in gear if you have your clutch pulled in, because it has a post there which is a white post. If you have your clutch pulled in, it will move that way, and if you have it out, it will pull this way. So that acts as a switch, and I yanked it out because there is a slot in here and it broke. I had to DIY a solution there. There are two screws which are Phillips head, which is convenient, and get that out. Also, this screw is very difficult to get off because the threads here are very, very fragile. Replace this. You probably will need to replace it when you have it. Use a locking plier to get this out because threads are really fragile in this one. One more thing about the clutch side is that if you have it in setting 1, it's going to interfere with this one, and you will not have that clutch lever or clutch switch working correctly. You need to be at least setting 2 on this motorcycle particularly. One more thing which you need to understand, which is kind of a screwball thing, the public. People have not seen this thing. This is a novelty for them, and what they do is they normally see something like this and it's a bright red thing. They fiddle around with it, and it happened to me once that people fiddled around, I guess, and they left my brake lever on setting 1. In my bike, the throttle cable had an issue where this would rub against here, so I had it adjusted to be way up so that it doesn't touch my fairing. So what that in turn does is that when I pull the clutch in, this part, the adjustment part, actually touches this slot here, so that's going to be an issue. Now in setting 1, this one touches as soon as it is there, and I don't really get the most braking from it, so that's another thing. If you want to do that, I normally keep it at setting 4 or 3. You might need to change your brake pad accordingly, so that's another thing which you might have to do. So yeah, that is it about the clutch lever situation. Now another thing which I wanted to talk about is the RR310. Well, Apache, sure, TVS, of course, TVS sure took their own sweet time in releasing that bad boy, and I kind of like it. I really do like it. There are a few things which I do really like it about it. It's the overall package. The amount of technology which you get on that bike is pretty amazing. I mean, Kayaba shocks front and rear, full ABS, dual LED projector headlamps. Man, it's pretty amazing. Oh man, if you haven't seen my roll start video, I suggest you watch that. And I just got my battery reset or battery charged, and now it starts with just one click, so that's amazing. I really like that. It's hot as hell. I'm gonna go down. Hopefully my motorcycle noise is still picked up by my microphone. This microphone has a little bit better noise isolation, which I worry about. I do want my bike to roar, so that's one thing. So yeah, let's go for a spin and tell you guys about the Apache RR310. Now, if you don't know about the Apache RR310, it's a great bike. It has a lot of features which most people will definitely like. One thing which disappointed me is that the ABS is not switchable. From the leaks and all that, I do remember that there was a switch, an ABS switch there on the left hand controls, which I thought is going to be for ABS control, which is for switching it off or on. I would have really liked to have switchable ABS on that bike, because let's face it, on these roads, on the roads where personally I ride, it's mostly an off-road road, you would like to have the rear ABS at least, which is switchable. I don't want rear ABS when I'm going downhill on a sleet road, which is like this with a lot of gravel. Yeah, I'm really glad that this bike does not have a rear ABS. That's actually a feature for me. I don't really want rear ABS, because when I really want to drive that thing around, I can. I don't have to worry about it not getting locked up. So that's pretty cool. I really like the styling of it. The shock thing works out really well. I saw that video on Powerdrift's channel where they have that shark overlay perfectly matching that. It's amazing. I really like that. And now a lot of people are comparing it to the RC390. I mean, I don't know if it's really a competition for RC390. I mean, RC390 has more CCs, more horsepower kind of, and also more torque, because it's a single cylinder 390, and there is no replacement for engine displacement. That is still holding true, but it's a little bit cheaper than RC390, and maybe in the pricing department it is kind of similar to RC390. Apart from that, I don't think it's really a competition for RC390. RC390 is a really track-focused machine, and if you're not riding twisty roads and on a track on an RC390, and if you use RC390 for commute, you're just doing it for the style factor, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just look at my bike, it's just for a style factor. That's a few things which I did notice about that motorcycle. The Apache RR310, I would really consider that to be an upgrade to RS200. If you are someone who has been eyeing the RS200, if you have a little bit more fun, I would suggest you take a look at the RR310. And now there has been a list of vendors who has an RR310, who are going to get an RR310 in stock, and that's really low. There are a very low number of people who have RR310s, are going to have RR310s for sale, and it's not in my town. I have to go to the next town, which is Kozhikode, which is Calicut. It's about a 150 kilometer, 150, 120 maybe kilometer ride, which is another thing. So yeah, it's not going to be as common as an RC390 or 200, so keep that in mind. Now, the last topic which I do want to talk about is the custom ROM scene in, well, OnePlus 3. It's not the best right now. There is definitely a lack of new ROMs for the OnePlus 3. I don't know why that is, or why it has died out, why the hype has died out as soon as it has. I'm not sure. It is probably because a lot of developers are moving on to OnePlus 5 and OnePlus 5T devices. And as I've already said about the OnePlus 5T, I did say that it is not a real big upgrade on the OnePlus 3 devices. But after using it for quite some time now, the screen, I don't really mind too much. I don't really care about the screen. Apart from that, it is good looking. It looks pretty bitchin'. I really like that. But the hardware, it's not too much of an upgrade, but it is a definite upgrade. I do retract back on the statement that it is not an upgrade. It is definitely a little bit of an upgrade, but not a huge upgrade as in a 1 year upgrade. I don't feel that. There is definitely a little bit less ROM right now than it used to be. So yeah, that's really it what I wanted to talk about. And also, it has been a shitty weather here. I'm sick. I'm affected by weather a lot, and because there were flash rains and all that, I had a very nasty cold. You might have noticed that my Sultan HDA ROM review did not go live until like 2-3 days after. So yeah, it took a long time to edit it because I couldn't move my hands and the eyes. So yeah, that was one thing which is there. So that is pretty much it which I wanted to talk about. I mean, I've been really excited about the RR310 launch. They've delayed it by 20 months. That's what a motor journalist did say. I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure that's almost accurate. It's been a while. Do let me know if you are interested in the RR210. Now, my friends over at RS200 group, they seem to be on the front that it's too expensive, it's overpriced. Now there is a distinct difference between overpriced and expensive. Yes, it's expensive, but it's not really overpriced. I don't think it's overpriced. Now with the package you get and all that, the engine is actually engineered by or designed by BMW. TVS just happened to make it. I don't think they made a bad choice with all that amalgamation, and I think the price is pretty bang on for what you're getting as a package with dual ABS, full fairing, by LED projector lamps, and that instrument cluster. It's a pretty good designed motorcycle in my opinion. I really like that. Some people will just get that because of the exclusivity, or even just because it's of its looks. I'm pretty sure about that. So yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm back home, so yeah, I guess I'm just say about the video then. Hope you guys like the video, and do let me know in the comments if you have any opinion about the RR310, the custom ROM scene on the OnePlus 3, the levers. I do want to get your opinion on the levers, also the OnePlus 5T. Do let me know that. See you guys next time. Bye.